to the channel, you guys. Back with another video on the H2R. On the H2, I'm running the H2. This was another kind of like unexpected ride. What we're doing today is we're going to finish some more clips, another more night shots for the Ninja H2 for that 4K video that I've told you guys about. The last time we rode it, if you guys didn't know what happened, my first ever dropped bike ever since I started riding, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. But yeah, I wasn't even looking at it. I was kind of like moving the bikes and the H2 was on my driveway. Unfortunately, because it has an aftermarket kickstand, like usually if I put on the driveway or anything like that, like I kind of like turn the steering wheel all the way, or the steering wheel, yeah, I guess, whatever. I turn it all the way so at least it kind of like doesn't roll at all. I should have just put it in gear, but like, you know, I've done it like thousands of times probably, and it's always been good. And since I haven't ridden it in like 2 months or so, I didn't kind of like put 2 and 2 together and kind of like think about it, you know, because all the other ones have soft kickstand. And by the way, I have an aftermarket kickstand because this bike is lowered front and rear. So if you have the OEM one, the bike is going to be very upright and it might tip over to the right. So you get an aftermarket kickstand which is adjustable and you can make it shorter so the bike still leans on the side. But yeah, unfortunately, the bike, literally as I'm pushing the H2R back into the garage because I had to take the H2 out from the back, it literally just rolled over and this happened. Luckily nothing else got damaged, but as you guys see from the tank, pretty bad and pretty sad because, you know, you guys know this is my most sentimental bike. I also do miss how this bike just kind of like whistles. The H2R weirdly doesn't whistle. It has more of a like whoosh sound. It doesn't do that little chirp chirp like this one, which is interesting. I thought it would do it more because there's more air going into the supercharger, but maybe with the different supercharger gears and stuff like that, you know, it's not as much. I don't know, but yeah, it definitely doesn't sound the same. It has more of a like jet sound. This one has that like chirp sound, almost like a turbo in a way. Yeah, today's video, how I feel about the H2 and having the H2R, because this is technically, well, last time was the first time I ride with it, but I was so like devastated. Bro, what are you doing? I was kind of devastated about the, you know, what happened to the H2. As I said, like, I've never even tipped over a bike, you know what I mean? So the fact that this dropped and I couldn't do anything about it because literally I wasn't even looking. It kind of like was behind me and it just happened. Why is it so packed in here? That G-Wagon though. I really hope it doesn't rain. It rained a little bit earlier when I was riding the Superleggera. Talking about the H2, like I haven't been riding as much in that. Like one of the main reasons why I got the R, which I don't know if I've talked about, I feel like I might have, but it is one of the main reasons why I got the H2R in the first place. Not only because it was my dream bike and all, but also I wanted to keep this H2 as mint as possible. And I know it's ironic that this happened to it, but yeah, like this bike is the most sentimental for me. It's technically my first leader bike, believe it or not. I've ridden leader bikes before, and I had my ZX6R, and I was gonna get a ZX10R, and then I just full sent it on my dream bike, you know, because the H2R is the ultimate dream bike, but it's a track bike. This is, and it's like insanely more expensive than it is double the price. Yeah, it's double the price. So I can have 2 H2s or 1 H2R, and I was like, you know what, like H2R is overkill, you know, it doesn't make sense. So this was kind of like my realistic dream bike, so I just sent it on it, and then I got the Ducati 1199, and then that wasn't like a good, because I wanted another leader bike that was daily. The 600s were way too slow after riding the H2, so that's when I sold the 1199 and got the R1M, and everything is all the way back like to 2-3 years ago when I first started the channel, even though I wasn't really serious about it back then. The H2R could never do this in this traffic. The bike would get so hot. The clutch is so heavy because I have the H2R upgraded clutch and upgraded springs for it. But yeah, so this bike was very sentimental for me, you know. It was like my dream bike and all that good stuff, and I kept it mint. I already rode it a lot. Like, it has the most miles of all my bikes. It's almost at 10,000 miles. Second one is the R1M. I think I have a little bit, or almost 9 or something like that on that bike. But yeah, this bike is, as I said, very, very sentimental. I wanted to keep it mint, you know. I was like, when it gets to 10,000 miles or, you know, a little bit more, like I only take it out every once in a blue moon for the hell of it, but I wanted to keep it like mint because it means so much. And just, but it is like the H2s are my favorite bikes, so I was like, I wanted either another H2 or, you know, something. So since the HR deal came through, I just full sent it on that. You guys know me, I always full send it. So yeah, that's pretty much just kind of a little bit of backstory of like why I got the H2R and why I'm making this video saying that like, hey, like I'm not gonna be riding this bike as often. Like, yeah, it's still like one of my favorite bikes, pretty much my favorite bike. That and the HR are very similar. They're actually like, they feel pretty different, but you know, like it's the same family, I would say. So yeah, I'm still gonna be like riding it and stuff. Surprisingly, running like not bad. Yeah, the H2 and the H2R, they actually run pretty cool. It's not like too bad. Like, with all if I was on the Ducati or the Aprilia, they would be in the 200s for sure. Most of my other bikes would be in the 200s. I think the R1s run decent. But yeah, so this is why I wanted to make this video, kind of like give you guys some of the backstory of like why I'm like, you know, first of all, why I got the H2R, and second of all, why I don't plan on riding this bike as much. And that's why like I didn't ride it for like 2 months or so, because you know the H2R was new, so like obviously there's more stuff and content. You guys want to see the other one a lot too, but surprisingly a lot of you guys are like, ride the H2, don't forget about it. I was like, wow, that's actually interesting. I thought everyone's gonna want to see the R, because I already have like so much content with the H2. So one of the main differences I think between the two is how smooth the R is. The R is actually a lot smoother than this one. This one, since it's been tuned and, you know, aftermarket exhaust and all that stuff, you guys can probably see right here, it's a little more jerky, and it kind of like jolts a little bit, and like when you get on the throttle, it's a little more touchy. Like it kind of just like launches you right away. While the R, it still feels actually faster, which I thought like this one would feel faster, because as I said, the throttle sensitivity, that like affects a lot. That's the thing with the Super Duke. The Super Duke feels crazy fast because of all the torque and the throttle sensitivity. Like everyone's like, oh, like it's crazy, it does wheelies, all that. That's probably because they have the tech pack and they have it in like the race mode or whatever. My left forearm is gonna be massive from pulling the clutch on this thing, and my smart brain decided to do shorty levers on this bike like way back when I first got it. But yeah, where was I got distracted, sorry, because we're trying to figure out this thing. Yeah, talking about kind of like the main differences and all that between them, I'm assuming. Yeah, so the H2R is a lot like smoother, but also it is faster. Like, yeah, this one is tuned and it's pushing 250, so probably like around 300-ish crank, a little bit less. The H2R is like still pushing like 50 more horsepower than this bike, which is pretty nuts. That's a lot of more horsepower, but it doesn't feel like it from the get-go. Like when you give it gas, like with this one, see, it just kind of like super responsive, but that's how it's tuned to be crazy responsive and fast. The H2R, like the Kawasaki map is very smart. Like it's very like kind of smooth and linear, and gives you enough power where the bike is not just gonna like kind of like launch and lift off anyway. So you don't need that much like throttle sensitivity. Same thing with the Super Duke. That's why with Troy, when he tried the tech pack, or yeah, tech pack or whatever, he was like, it's kind of pointless because like the bike just comes up like crazy and you can't put the power down. So what's the point? Unless you're doing it strictly for the wheelies. Why is that Tesla rolling backwards? What is it, a manual? But yeah, so the power is like very smooth, and then later on it kicks on and it's like a gradual, like keeps going and going and going, and then it's like crazy up top when, you know, you can actually put the power down. So that's the thing about it. Setting off alarms over here. Hopefully the stand doesn't fail me again. So yeah, as you guys can see, it's adjustable, so you take off this bolt and then you can raise it and lower it. But the issue with it is that it doesn't lock here, so as soon as you kind of like push a little bit, you see how it just like pushes forward. So sadly I didn't kind of like twist this to the side, which kind of like gives it more stability, and that's when it tipped over and the wall kind of like held it up with a tank right here. So this barely like touched some like grass and all, but like it was fine. Obviously, for those of you guys that don't know, the H2 has a different front face because it has a headlight. The H2R does not. H2R comes with a full H2R exhaust. I know some of the people are like, oh, you should get an exhaust for it. I'm like, bro, are you guys high? You know, like Brock's, Van Diemen, all these other exhaust brands try to copy the H2R's exhaust. That's the whole point, but they can't replicate it because Kawasaki will probably sue them. So like, why would I change the best exhaust ever made by the company that made the H2R. It just, is insane. And that exhaust sounds like nothing else. It's crazy. For this bike, I ended up getting a carbon cover right here that I'm waiting for, because I don't want to replace this tank, and apparently it's on back order till like November or something. So I'm gonna get the carbon cover, which is gonna cover kind of like maybe right here, because I want this exposed tank to stay. Since this is not like, it's just cosmetic, it's not like actually like, there's no leak or anything like that. But yeah, alright, I'll probably film a little bit more when we are riding back. Kind of wanted to, since I'm riding it, film a little video and do kind of a like comparison indirectly. I will do a comparison with both of the bikes kind of like next to each other and all, because I know you guys asked for that and all that. I'll start them both, do a full comparison, but I kind of just wanted to give you guys backstory of like why pretty much I haven't been riding my Ninja H2, or why I don't ride my Ninja H2 anymore. And to simplify it, summarize it, simply because it's very sentimental to me and I've put a lot of work into it, and yeah, I just wanted to stay as mint as possible. But now that the tank got messed up, maybe I guess I'll ride it more, I don't know. But yeah, it does look good lowered, but I'm definitely not doing that to any of my other bikes after this kickstand situation. What do you guys think about carbon wheels on the H2R? I don't know if I trust them, and I think the OEM wheels are very unique, but carbon, and plus it'll be lighter. I don't know if it'll be much lighter. I know the OEM wheels are actually pretty light. Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that is pretty much the video, the backstory, and all of that stuff. We're going to continue shooting this 4K video, which should be coming up. The 4K video with this bike shot by Mr. GPR1M. And if it does well and you guys really like it, we might do more with my other bikes, and mainly the H2R. This was actually supposed to be for the H2R, but because it's not done yet, I just got the seat, some more carbon for it, titanium. We're like, this is more complete, so let's do it with this. And then if this does well, we want to do not only the H2R, but possibly some other bikes. I don't know. Don't worry, you'll still see the H2 every once in a while. Just it's not going to be as much as I guess some of the other bikes or something like that. Unless it's a night ride, then I can't take the H2R and I'll take this. But yeah, we'll see. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, ride safe.